Today on Destination Polaris, we journey to the Grand Canyon for an epic adventure.
My own private covered wagon for the night.
Better bring your sleeping bag, because we're roughing it.
It's gonna be nice.
Then we head to Arizona and Utah. Our Project X machines are finished. Time to take them for a spin. All that and more on Destination Polaris right now.
So for years we've been talking about making a trip to the Grand Canyon, and we finally made it happen. Our trip started in the small town of Mesquite, Nevada, located about an hour north of Las Vegas. Now don't blow off Mesquite as just another gambling city. There's tons of great rides just outside of town.
If you've never been to Mesquite, you will have no idea what to expect. And it's just thousands of miles of, as far as you can see, of trails, and it just takes you completely out. Like you're not even in Mesquite, you're not even in Nevada, I don't know where you are.
Once we got into town, we met up with Mark Allred of Mesquite Extreme Power Sports and some of his good buddies.
We've got great customers and such a big base of people that ride right from Mesquite that, you know, we can offer all that. We have trails, maps, everything to help show you to get you where you need to go.
Mark brought along Mesquite transplants Jerry Magnuson and Mike Harris. He loves to ride with these guys.
He's bought 3 machines from us. Our number one thing is customer service, and we try to give that to him.
I love coming up through the valleys. The washers are fun. Anything that's above 35.
We even brought along a good old Southern boy for the trip.
I've been waiting for this trip for a long time. Live in Mississippi, you don't have the cliffs, the rocks, the Grand Canyon. They don't have the sand as much. Riding out west is something different. It's something I've always wanted to do.
I love our group. We all know each other and we know what to expect.
From Mesquite, we drove a couple of hours to a famous local landmark called the Schoolhouse.
If you check inside, there was a guy, actually a teacher had signed his name here that he had been teaching as late as 1964. So this was a one-room schoolhouse up until that period of time. Then they had some vandals that burned it down about 10 years ago, and the locals all completely rebuilt it. So what you see now is the same structure, but rebuilt to new standards. And there's a museum inside. If you look, it has a lot of photographs from the people here, all people that were ranch people, farmers here locally in the valley.
This is a great spot to just unload the vehicles and take off for the canyon.
What's the ride from here to there like?
It's most of the roads out through here, because it's cattle production, are all one-lane cattle roads they use to check their cattle and move them in and out. So it's going to be a fast but bumpy ride.
Hey, school's out. Time to go play.
Most everything in here is BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. Everything is marked on the maps, and those trails that you can ride, and there's extensive trails, are all marked so you can easily navigate them. We're about 10 miles here from Mount Trumbull, which is south of us, which is where they had the original sawmill here that they made a lot of the lumber that was used in St. George.
From the schoolhouse to the canyon, it's roughly 24 miles, so it's not that far. So we're gonna take it easy and enjoy some of the sights. Besides, I really don't feel like following that close to the person in front of me.
Very dusty, but luckily we have a little bit of wind, which will tend to move the dust off the road as we go by.
It's horrible. I ain't gonna lie, it's horrible. Anytime you ride here, you're always going to eat dust, but every time you stop, you look around and it's, you know, it's great.
I'm gonna make it all. You put a slice of turkey, a slice of roast beef, and a slice of ham.
Don't go anywhere. Our ride to the Grand Canyon is still ahead, but up next, it's Project X with Marshall Moto Art and TMW Off-Road. Bigger, faster, stronger, better. That's how they like to build them. We travel all over the country in search of great destinations. Our latest trip to the Grand Canyon might rank as one of the best.
It's just an amazing, amazing place. Kind of undescribable.
Our journey began at the Schoolhouse, located about 24 miles from the canyon.
Well, the Schoolhouse was built, of course, for all the local people. You came in here, you can imagine in the 1800s what it would be like to take your kids to school, 50 miles over that road.
You know, it's nice to be able to get out and ride and not worry about when you round one of these corners if there's going to be, you know, a huge group or a truck.
So beyond just a trip to the canyon, which, you know, would be cool enough for any trip, we made one-night reservations at the Bar 10 Ranch.
The Bar 10 Ranch is located 80 miles south of St. George, Utah, and 10 miles north of the Grand Canyon. We are at mile marker 187 on the Grand Canyon. We have wagons out back, and each of those holds 2 people. We also have bedrooms upstairs, and when the weather's nice, people sleep out on the deck under the stars.
2 options here, sleep in the lodge or sleep in the covered wagon. I'm choosing the wagon. You?
No, I'm going lodge.
You're going lodge.
You're going wagon.
You're going wagon.
Might as well go all out.
All right. Yeah, all the kids are going to the wagon. A light sleeping bag, a couple of pillows. May need more than 1 sleeping bag tonight.
It'll work.
Last night it was 39 degrees, so I may need all 3 of these sleeping bags tonight, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, the wagons, they're not real wagons. We build them just for the sleeping purposes. And we've just got a mattress in there. We've got the tarp covering. It's just a cozy little place to stay.
I'm sleeping indoors. I like the indoor in the desert. I know it crawls around here at night. And so, as you know, there's the Conestoga wagons that some of you have opted to sleep in, and you're liable to have all kinds of fun tonight.
Hey, you come with a deadbolt?
There's nothing that I can lock on a wagon, sorry. I don't know you guys. Especially that guy.
Sleeping in a covered wagon, that's just something. They had rooms inside, but if you're going to do it, you might as well just go all out. Have that, experience that. I mean, something, I don't know of a whole lot of people that slept in a covered wagon.
She's in there trying to check her phone right now. Yeah, typical girl. Like, we're in the middle of nowhere, and she's like, oh, maybe I get email.
I'm gonna guess there's 0 chance of getting a signal out here.
There's no cell phone reception, so people come out here just to feel the peace and serenity of the Grand Canyon area. We also take people horse riding, shotgun shooting, ATV riding, and whatever else they want to do.
Sean and the crew make you feel right at home, but this is no small operation.
Between April and September, we do the river rafting season, and there's about 24,000 people that go down the Grand Canyon a year, and about half of them, 12,000 people, come through the Bar 10 Ranch.
Now that we've checked in, it's time for some grub. The staff at the Bar 10 Ranch, they set us up real nice.
I think the customer service from what I've seen so far is amazing. Considering they're out in the middle, literally, of nowhere. There's no power here. There's no, everything is carried in here.
Well, I think it's time we call it a night. Tomorrow, Grand Canyon, here we come. I am all jacked up for today's ride. We just got done staying the night in covered wagons at the Bar 10 Ranch in Arizona. Now, it's time to head to the Grand Canyon. It's roughly 7 miles from the ranch down to the canyon, but you don't want to rush it. It's not every day that you get to ride through a lava field.
We have a large lava flow at this location that actually filled up this canyon, which is called Whitmore Canyon. And because of that lava flow, we can actually drive a vehicle all the way to the inner canyon.
You appreciate a Polaris suspension in that last 5 miles. You really do.
A few more miles and we park our rides on the North Rim.
When we pulled up to the Grand Canyon, that was pretty awesome.
Spectacular, look around. I mean, and this whole area.
Just getting in, going, staying at the Bar 10 Ranch, just no power lines, no water lines, nothing. I mean, they're just a well, a generator, the food, leaving there and just that nice ride and just driving over to the Grand Canyon, just overlooking that just is amazing.
We're sitting at the Snake River, I call it the River Overlook, which is just about 80 miles west of St. George, Utah. And we just had a beautiful day driving down through here and sitting in this lava field right now. It feels pretty good. It's nice and warm. Somebody told me I only have 4 feet behind me and what's got to be what, a 1,000-foot drop off?
Well, you see the trail right down there.
You know, I think this view is beautiful, but where it actually takes your breath is when you're coming down, where we came down the little winding road. You know, you're in that valley and all you see is a lava rock, and then when you round that corner, you know, you look down and you see this, and it's just absolutely breathtaking. I mean, what do you say? You know, it's gorgeous.
Pull up and it'd be like a tour bus, one of those coach motorhomes, pull up and just unpile a whole bunch of people from different states and countries, taking pictures. It was nothing like that, nothing at all.
This is an interesting piece of land because this is actually part of Arizona. And so all of the land over here is separated from the main state by the Grand Canyon, which makes it very difficult for them to enforce it from a law enforcement point of view, and also makes it difficult for them to really know what's going on over here. So it's kind of a no man's land, and that's basically what it was back in the 1800s.
Well, was it worth the wait?
Seeing the Grand Canyon. Yeah. And the Bar 10 Ranch was cool. It was a different experience, sleeping in the wagons and staying out in the middle of nowhere.
It's incredible, it really is. Coming out here is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, really.
All right then, let's pack up, head home. All right, let's go.